Hey everyone, I'm Cincotta. We are here in Iceland. Scene number 1 for me today. We are getting set up and I've got this incredible custom-made purple flower wreath. I don't even know what else to call it, but it was made by someone on my staff. We saw some inspiration online and we wanted to do something really killer with it. Now, that being said, the concept, if you will, is I don't want to be in a studio on a black backdrop or a white backdrop. I do want some environment back behind me. So what you're seeing, the greenery that's behind me, I want to incorporate that into the shoot. So this is where we're going to take this shot. Now, I will tell you, in my head already, I'm probably going to be using an 85mm lens. But before we get into all that on the shoot, we'll go through that. Let's go through what I'm using here. So I've got a color checker passport by X-Rite. This is something I highly advise you to use. I try to use it as much as humanly possible, mostly for the gray card, because it makes getting that white balance just kind of perfect for you. And it's easy to do. Once you're in Lightroom or Capture One, it's really easy to do. Now, if you look behind me, you've got all these, especially here in Iceland, we've got all these incredible and vibrant colors. I want to get color right. Next thing is a light meter. Again, you know, if you're a wedding photographer, you're not pulling this out, nor do I. But where I'm on a shoot where I've got time to control the light and balance it with the ambient light, I'm going to do my best. So we've got a Cincotta 478 DRU. This is new for me. I used to use the older model. I had it for almost 10 damn years. These things are a workhorse, so I'm still getting used to this new one. Of course, I've got a B1. I've got their OCF Beauty dish with me, so it's portable, it's smaller, and then a Manfrotto nano stand. So that's what's on tap for this shoot. We're going to set up the lighting, get dialed in. You're going to see all that in this video. And then we're going to get Arna out here and capture this beautiful shot, and hopefully it'll look exactly like I hope it will. But you know how it goes in the world of photography. You just never know. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Watch us get set up here. Much better. I'm going to have to cut it right here.
I mean, right here.
Oh, I'll control that. I got your hand.
Just here?
Oh, yeah, that's there.
Oh, so you're not seeing my arms being weird.
No, I'll tell you if they're weird. Okay, here we go. One, two. All right, so there you have it. That's a wrap. Let's recap some things, right? So I'm using Phase 1 IQ3, 100 megapixel. I'm using an 80mm lens, which is more of a portrait lens. So even if you're on a 35mm system, Canon, Nikon, I'd be using your 85mm portrait lens. And you saw some of the struggles we were having with that shoot. That sun is coming in and out, creating all sorts of chaos for us. You know, a shoot like this is typically done indoor where you have complete control of the environment. But here, I wanted to work outside with it. Inside, quite frankly, it's just not that pretty. But let's recap some of the issues we had. We had sun that was splitting the face. So what I do to adjust for that, I turned her away from it so that she's being lit from behind with a hair light, okay? And then we adjusted the exposure. So I ended up, my final exposure was f9. And that's the light we were pushing on her because the light hitting her was much brighter than the f4 when we first started, f5.6 when we first started. So we started hitting her with f9 to really adjust that gap in exposure from what's hitting her from behind and what's hitting her in the front. So I didn't want too much of an exposure difference there for that. So hopefully that all makes sense. What else did we do here? We just had one light with a beauty dish on it to get that, and then in post-production what we're going to do is fill those flowers into the scene so that I don't see blue sky or anything behind her. Just didn't like the way it was looking, so I'd rather see all purple flowers. These are the decisions we're making real time on set, so it's not like, you know, your first thought is always the right thought or always the final thought in all that. And then one other thing you saw here was me working with her on her expression. That becomes really, really important for them to understand what their expression needs to be. So I kept showing her back at the camera. She was excited and then adjusting accordingly. So I can't emphasize how important communication is between you and your subject to get that final look. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Enjoy the final images. We'll see you next time.